All right, sorry about that. My phone turned off, but I'm gonna start on Deuteronomy, I think, whatever this page is called, because I'm bored of reading the numbers. I'm not gonna lie. I hope that's not a bad thing to say, but it's just the same thing every day. It's just about sacrificing the sheeps and then just going to war, and I'm just gonna skip it because it's kind of getting boring. But we're on a new page now. I'm just gonna read this page and then I'll be done for today. But again, I don't mean to be disrespectful to anybody or to God. I don't really feel like reading the same type of pages every day. I want to read something a little bit new. Sorry about that. Okay. This book records Moses' address to the people of Israel when they were camped in the valley of Abraham in the wilderness of Moab east of the Jordan River. Cities in the area included, I don't know those names, though it takes only 11 days to travel by foot from Mount Horeb to Kadesh, going by the way of Mount Seirah. At the time of this address, King Solomon, or King Sashan of the Amorites had already been defeated at Hadesh, and King Og of Bashan had been defeated at, again, a lot of these names I don't know, so I'm going to skip that. It was 40 years ago at Mount Horeb that Jehovah our God told us, you have stayed here too long. Now go and occupy the hill country of Amorites. And again, I'm probably saying a lot of these words wrong, but I really don't know how to read some of these, so it is what it is. The valley of the Araba and the Negeb and all the land of Canaan or Sinan. The entire area from the shores to the Mediate Sea to the Euphrates River, I'm giving all of it to you. Go in and possess it, for it is the land that the Lord promised to you, to your ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and all of your descendants. At the time I told the people, I need help. You are a great burden for me to carry, all by myself, for the Lord has multiplied you like stars, and may he multiply you 1,000 times more and bless you as he promised. But what can one man do to settle all your quarrels and problems? So choose some men from each tribe who are wise, experienced, and understanding, and I will appoint them as your leaders. They agreed to this. I took the men they selected, some from every tribe, and appointed them as administratives, assistants, in charge of thousands, hundreds, fifties, and tens to decide their quarrels and assist them in every way. I instructed them to be perfectly fair at all times, even to foreigners. When giving your decisions, I told them, never favor a man because he is rich. Be fair to great and small alike. Don't fear their displeasure, for you are judging in the place of God. Bring me all cases too difficult for you, and I will handle them. And I gave them other instructions at the time also. Then we left Mount Horeb, I'm not too sure, and traveled through the great Oh, yeah. Then we left Mount Horeb and traveled through the great and terrible desert, finally arriving among the Amorite hills to which the Lord our God had directed us. We were then at Kadesh Barnea on the border of the Promised Land. And I said to the people, the Lord God has given us this land. Go and possess it as he told us to. Don't be afraid, don't even doubt. But they replied, first let us send out spies to discover the best route to entry, and to decide which cities we could capture first. This seemed like a good idea, so I chose 12 spies from each tribe. They crossed into the hills and came to the valley of Escul, and returned with samples of each local fruit. One took enough to convince us that it was indeed a good land the Lord our God had given us. But the people refused to go in and rebelled against the Lord's command. They murmured and complained in their tents and said, "The Lord must hate us, bringing us here from Egypt, to be slaughtered by the Amorites." What are we getting into? Our brothers who spied out the land have frightened us with their report. They say that the people of the land are tall and powerful, and that the walls of their cities rise high into the sky. They have even seen giants there, the descendants of the Anakim. But I said to them, "Don't be afraid, the Lord God is our leader, and he will fight for you with his mighty miracles, just as you saw him do in Egypt. And you know how he has cared for you again and again here in the wilderness, just as a father cares for his child." But nothing I said did any good. They refused to believe the Lord our God, who had led them all the way, and had selected the best places for them to camp, and had guided them by a pillar of fire, at night a pillar of cloud during the day. Let me see how long this video has been. About 6 minutes, so I think I can read a little bit more, honestly. Let me read a little bit more. Well, the Lord heard their complaining and was very angry. He vowed that not one person may enter. And that entire generation would live to see the good land he had promised their fathers, except Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, who, because he had wholly followed the Lord, would receive his personal inheritance, some of the land he had walked over. And the Lord was even angry with me because of them. And said to me, "You shall not enter the promised land. Instead, your assistant Joshua, the son of Nun, shall lead the people." Encouraged him as he perhaps to take over the leadership. I will give the land to the children they said would die in the wilderness. But as for you, the older generation, turn around, now go back across the desert toward the Red Sea. Then they confessed, "We have sinned. We will go into the land and fight for it as the Lord our God had told us." So they strapped on their weapons and thought it would be easy to conquer the whole area. But the Lord said to me, "Tell them not to do it, for I will not go with them. They will be struck down before their enemies." I told them, but they wouldn't listen. Instead, they rebelled again and again. They rebelled again against the Lord's command and went on up into the hill country to fight. But the Amorites who lived there came out against them and chased them like bees and killed them from Seir to Horem. Then they returned and wept before the Lord, but he wouldn't listen. So they stayed there at Kadesh for a long time. Then we turned back across the wilderness toward the Red Sea, for so the Lord had instructed me. For many years we wandered around the area of Mount Seir. Then at last the Lord said, "You have stayed here long enough. Turn northward. Inform the people that they will be passing through the country belonging to their brothers and Edomites, the descendants of Esau who lived in Seir," for whatever that is, "will be nervous, so be careful. Don't start a fight, for I have given them all the Mount Seir hill country as their provident possession. And I will not give you even a tiny piece of their land. Pay them for whatever food and water you use." The Lord your God has watched over you and blessed you every step of the way for all these 40 years, as you have wandered around in this great wilderness, and you have lacked nothing in all that time. So we passed through Edom, where our brothers lived, crossing the Abraham road that goes south to Eleth and Eliezer, and traveled northward toward the Moab desert. Then the Lord warned us, "Don't attack the Moabites either, for I will not give you any of their land. I have given it to the descendants of Lot. The Emim used to live in that area, a very large tribe, tall as the giants of Akim. Both the Em and the Akim are often referred to as the Rephaim, but the Moabites call them Em. In earlier days, the Horites lived in Seir, but they were driven out and displaced by, again, the descendants of Ezer, just as Israel would displace the people of Canaan, whose land had been assigned to Israel by the Lord. Now cross Zered Brook, the Lord said, and we did. So it took us 38 years to finally get across Zered Brook from Kadesh. But the Lord had decreed that this could not happen until all the men who 38 years earlier were old enough to bear arms has died. Yes, the hand of the Lord was against them until finally they were all dead. Then at last, the Lord said to me, "Today Israel shall cross the borders of Moab at Ar into the land of Amorites. Do not attack them, for I will not give you any of their land." Again, this is still kind of the same stuff. It's just kind of the same sentences, like back to back, over and over again. So it's already kind of getting a little bit old, but it is what it is. I do feel like I do have to read a lot of this stuff. If it keeps being the same, like it's just over and over again, same page, I'm going to skip it because I don't feel like I really want to just keep reading the same stuff over and over again. And I get bored very, very easily, and I don't want to get bored of this whole Bible and then give up on it and be like, oh, I don't want to read it anymore because I'm bored. So I don't want to do that. And also, I've heard from a lot of people, you don't really need to read this. Like, if you don't want to, this is more just so you can know what happened back then. And I kind of want to know. So I'm going to keep reading as much as I can, because I don't want to get bored of this whole Bible. But if one part keeps like repeating itself and doing the same thing, I'm going to skip it just so I don't get bored of this whole book, because I still have a long way to go before I'm even close to being done with this. So I think the next thing is Judges, I'm pretty sure. No, Joshua. So yeah, I have like 34 something pages of Deuteronomy, and then I should be on Judges. So I think for now that's all I'm going to do. And again, I don't mean to be disrespectful at all when I say I'm getting bored. It's not like I'm getting bored of like I don't want to read the Bible anymore. It's just I'm getting bored of the same thing being said over and over again. That's why. But that's okay. I'm not going to keep, and I don't want to bore anybody that's watching this video either. I know I don't have a lot of views, but I don't want to bore anybody else, so we'll skip over that. But I'm now on Deuteronomy 3, page 150. I'm on page 151 to 152 and 153, because I'm going to try to read all these 3 pages tomorrow. And then we'll just see, we'll see how it goes from there. But thank you guys so much for watching this. God bless you guys all. Sorry about the wind. God bless you guys. If you haven't gone outside yet today, I think you should. I think you should all enjoy today and what God has given us. I know that I'm thankful for being alive today. And I'm thankful that I woke up and wanted to pray a little bit, because I got to get back on doing that. I got to pray every morning and before I go to bed, because I forget to do that. And then, I just start slipping back into sin again. So I'm going to try to do that a little bit more. I'm going to try to stay in contact with God and pray a little bit more. Pray as much as I can, because it helps me out and it makes me feel a lot better. But yeah. God bless you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Again, if you have any tips for me to understand this Bible a little bit more, just put it in my comments and I'll try to read it. But again, thank you guys so much, and God bless you. Peace out.